Okay, now we're going to talk about just kind of the cardiac cycle, various stages, blood volume changes, and yeah, things go associated with that. So right here, we're going to just talk about pressure changes, mainly opening and closing of valves, and the heart sounds. So just a little bit of anatomy. We're focusing on the mitral valve, or bicuspid, aortic valve, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so as blood comes in from the pulmonary veins into the left atrium, it's going to start filling up, and as well, it's going to start filling up the ventricle. Okay, that's going to have it. We're going to have a slight increase in pressure. Okay, as it's filling up, the pressure, right, it's going to increase, and because these valves are like this, it's actually going to close the mitral valve. It's going to close the mitral valve because of that pressure. Because the pressure closes that valve right here, I don't know if you can see, mitral valve closing right here, we'll have a heart sound, or the lub sound. And that's the sound of lub. So right when that mitral valve closes, we're going to have that lub dub. Okay, you hear that lub sound. That is going to skyrocket our pressure immensely, and we're going to enter an isovolumic contraction phase. So the ventricle is actually going to start contracting without an increase in volume. Okay, this is going to increase the pressure immensely. Okay, and then we're actually going to get to a point where that same valve looks like this on the aortic. But it's actually the opposite way. So it's looking like this, I would assume. No. I guess we could just draw it like that. So that pressure is going to be so intense here in the ventricle. It's actually going to open our aortic valve and cause ejection into the aortic semilunar valve. That ejection is going to blast into the aorta. I don't know. I guess I should have drawn. Let's just say that's the aorta here. It's going to blast into the aorta. Okay. The aorta, in reality, is actually going to expand just slightly. It's going to stretch. And that stretching, our body doesn't necessarily like to stretch. So when we have that pressure going in at such a high velocity, it's going to stretch it, but then our body's going to react, and that artery is going to react, and it's actually going to relax or constrict back to its normal state. And that's going to create a closing of the aortic valve and this dicrotic notch, and it's going to create a dub sound. Okay, that closing, it's going to close that. It's going to close the aortic valve, and pressure is going to drop immensely, right? And then we're going to basically start all over again. The blood's going to come in from the pulmonary veins. It's going to start filling up the atrium, which is going to fill up the ventricle. And we're going to start this rapid inflow all over again. Okay? I want to focus on the aorta just a little bit. As you can see, I guess we kind of did for a little bit. And then I would like to talk to you, just kind of listen to my voice for a little bit about volume. Okay. Okay. Well, I think that's it actually. I think that's all I wanted to explain. We can talk a little bit actually more about some heart murmurs. So when you have heart murmurs, basically what happens with heart murmurs is that there's going to be an issue with the valves. Okay? Normally, our heart sounds like this, lub-dub. Okay? Now, if it's a lub-dub like this, lub-dub and then dub, that's going to be a sign of a mitral valve, that the mitral valve didn't close. And so you're going to have a leakage of blood back into the atrium. This will cause that lub-dub down. Or we could potentially have the lub-dub sound, which is actually the aortic valve not closing. Or you could possibly have, I believe it's lub-dub, like this. And that's a sign of aortic stenosis, or that the aorta, actually looks like this. And that's going to increase the pressure in the aorta and make it, wouldn't be able to close the aortic valve as well. And so we wouldn't have this dicrotic notch, and it would actually end up looking just like this. A lot smaller. That's a bad thing. So that's just kind of an overview on the cardiac cycle.